Možemo da počnemo. Uvažene gošće, poštovane koleginice i kolege novinari, dobar dan i dobrodošli u Medija centar na konferenciju za novinare Ujedinjenih nacija u Srbiji. Iz najave Medija centra ste videli šta je povod današnje konferencije. Specijalna savetnica Generalnog sekretara Ujedinjenih nacija i podsekretarka za prevenciju genocida u zvaničnoj je poseti Srbiji. Za vreme posete specijalna savetnica se sastala sa najvišim državnim zvaničnicima, organizacijama civilnog društva, najvišim predstavnicima verskih zajednica, predstavnicima međunarodnih organizacija, kao i sa relevantnim partnerima u Srbiji. Cilj posete je sagledavanje mogućnosti, podrške procesima pomirenja, izgradnja poverenja u zemlji i regionu, kao i prevazilaženje postojećih izazova. Sa vama su danas gospođa Françoise Jacob, stalna koordinatorka Ujedinjenih nacija u Srbiji, koja će i prva govoriti, i gospođa Alice Wairimu Nderitu, specijalna savetnica Generalnog sekretara Ujedinjenih nacija i podsekretarka za prevenciju genocida. Konferencija se simultano prevodi, tako da prijemnike i slušalice možete uzeti, desno od mene su na stolu. Ova konferencija se prenosi online i bit će postavljena na Facebook stranicu i YouTube kanal Medija centra. Reč ima gospođa Françoise Jacob, stalna koordinatorka Ujedinjenih nacija u Srbiji. Izvolite.
Hvala puno. Good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here today and to welcome Madame Nderitu to this press statement. She's here for 3 days only, 3 days in Belgrade. It was a packed agenda, and we have met pretty much representations from the whole society. We are very grateful for all of those who have met with us on these very sensitive topics. And of course, we thank the government of Serbia for facilitating this visit. Madame Nderitu, her visit is not directly provoked by the incident that happened in Belgrade a few days ago. However, it could not be more timely, and I'm sure she will speak about this a bit later. In the meetings, we talked very openly with the different interlocutors about the legacy of the past, about the risks with hate speech and divisive speech in the society. And we talk a lot about the youth. We talk about finding good ways forward to build a stronger society. And really, we spoke about trust, trust building within the society, within the country, and of course, within the region. So, Madame Nderitu, the floor is yours, and please tell us your impression of this visit and your proposed way forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to begin by thanking you, Françoise, for hosting us with our team. We are here as 3 of us from New York, the Office of the Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide. We're here with Mario and Thea. And we've come here as a part of the mandate that is being given to us by the United Nations, and my office conducts official visits to countries around the world. We have a global mandate, so we visit many countries around the world. And this is my first visit to Serbia. This is the first time I've come to Belgrade. And this is my second visit in my official capacity as Special Advisor for the Prevention of Genocide. This is my second visit to the region. I spent a considerable amount of time in the summer in Bosnia-Herzegovina. And the whole essence of my being here, of course, is the prioritization of the prevention and trust-building agenda, not just in the country, in Serbia, but in the broader region of the Western Balkans. Also, we are here, and one of the reasons that I felt very strongly that we had to come here and prioritize this country is because I have to acknowledge the leadership of Serbia, the leading role of Serbia in this region. And so the visit, as I said before, builds upon our previous visit to Bosnia and Herzegovina. And it's extremely important that we engage leadership from the whole region in regards to what I described as the prevention and trust building agenda. So I am reiterating the importance of encouraging national efforts to build trust across all levels, from the top political leadership to the community level, from the education sector to human rights, and with a particular focus on youth and promoting inclusiveness and mutual understanding. My office has been mandated by the Secretary General as the UN focal point on hate speech. In 2019, the Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, launched the Plan of Action for Hate Speech, the United Nations Plan of Action for Hate Speech. And he designated my office as a focal point for hate speech. So we work quite a bit with hate speech around the world. We support UN country teams, we support member states, we support media houses, we support schools, we support all kinds of people around the world on what to do with hate speech. And I would say that we are working very closely with the education sector. And just recently, we held in partnership with UNESCO a ministerial conference for ministers of education from across the world. And we spoke about hate speech, and we came up with an outcome document that spoke to what we need to do on hate speech through curriculums and through extracurricular activities. And we also just recently, in October, had a brief for the Security Council, and I briefed the Security Council together with tech and social media companies. We have a good working relationship with tech and social media companies, so Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, all of them. And we talked about hate speech. What is it that we need to do? And from our perspective, we were asking the tech and social media companies to speak to the Security Council about what we need to do about a profit model that's unregulated, but at the same time is available in so many languages, including languages that the tech and social media companies do not have translations for. And what do we do with the power of social media, knowing how useful it is in terms of connections, but at the same time how easily it amplifies hate speech. So I've been here. I've been very privileged to be hosted by several people. I've met government officials, I've met civil society, I've met religious leaders, and I must say that in all these meetings, I have emphasized that the mandate of the Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide is not connected to the determination of past crimes, which correspond solely to courts of justice, but is focused on prevention. In other words, my office does not determine whether whether an atrocity crime, by which I mean genocide, war crimes, or crimes against humanity, our office does not determine that this is an atrocity crime, because we require legal mechanisms to determine if a genocide has happened. And we thinking of the atrocities that have been determined as genocides. We know that we've had courts that have sat before to determine genocide. So we are here in terms of trust building. One of the key messages that I have passed on, and I will keep speaking about in every space that I get to speak about these issues, is that we must acknowledge the suffering experienced by all communities in the past in order to build a future grounded on trust and mutual understanding. That unless we do so, that we will live with a trust deficit. And this trust deficit can only be breached if we have leadership at all levels, from the community to political leadership, that is willing to acknowledge that we have intense suffering that was suffered by all the communities, by everyone. So I have made the observation to of the impact that the legacy of the past has in efforts to move countries forward, and I'm talking about all countries in the world, including Serbia, and therefore I am calling on those in positions of authority to do their utmost to focus on what brings the country forward together, rather than on what takes people apart, and that's the call of every peace builder, that we focus on how we can move the country forward, and that we focus especially on the legacy that we intend to leave to the younger generation, and that it's a legacy that takes us forward. So this, of course, does not mean forgetting the crimes that occurred in the past, but that we have to learn the lessons of the past to build a future where the commission of such crimes is no longer possible. So I do remain committed, and I promise the full support of my office to supporting national efforts aimed at trust building, and I will offer my assistance to this effect in coordination with Francoise, the United Nations country team, and with the support of the people of Serbia. So I'd like to stop there, and available to take your questions.
Hvala. Izvolite, možete postavljati pitanja. Zamolit ću koleginicu da samo doda mikrofon. Izvolite, da li ima pitanja? Ako pitanja nema, ne znam da li bi vi nešto mogli da dodate ili imali. Ako nema pitanja, možemo da završimo konferenciju ili bi vi imali nešto da dodate? You have problem?
I'm not getting the translation. If we have no question, do we close the conference? Yeah. Do you want to?
Or you can continue if you want to say something else.
Ako pitanja nema, možemo da završimo konferenciju. Hvala vam što ste prisustvovali konferenciji. Konferencija će biti postavljena na YouTube kanal i Facebook stranicu Medija centra.